Outdoor Radio on iHeartMedia and Fox Sports. You can check out my website at huntingfishing.com. Today's pragmatic view of the obvious brings me to the recent Palestinian protest. The Palestinians are protesting for a reason. I get it. It's a very emotional, divide situation. But here's the deal, and this is where the pragmatic view of the obvious comes in. 76% of the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip elected Hamas to power. Do the math. If you elect to climb in a pressure cooker, if you want to live there, you have to know, and they know. They knew what was going to happen. These dissidents are going to close the lid, they're going to turn up on the gas, and when the pressure cooker blows up, don't come bitching to everybody else, because you know what? Nobody cares. You did it. You got to deal with it. Here's the correlation. You remember the 574 riots brought to you by George Soros, the left, and God knows who else, that brought you the Black Lives Matter protests. 574 of them, including Antifa, around the country. They hurt people, they killed people, destroyed billions of dollars worth of property. Who was arrested? Nobody. Who was prosecuted? Nobody. Look, the Constitution is a wonderful living document. The First Amendment guarantees you the right to free speech. It doesn't guarantee you the right to hate speech, which is what's happening. It doesn't guarantee you the right to go deface public property. That's paid for by the taxpayers, and we're getting pissed. Why? Because nobody's doing anything. GOP's, once again, forgive the Democrats. They're not going to do anything. They want this to happen. It's lawlessness. It's their way of more control. They're sitting there looking at it. I mean, look at the squad, look at the mob. Tlaib got censored. She needs to be deported. Her and Omar both. She's from Somalia, bitching about everything about America. She hates America, married her brother, income tax fraud, Lord knows what else. She needs to go back to Somalia. And Tlaib, okay, first Palestinian elected to Congress, she needs to go back. She needs to go back there and look at what's happening. You can't do what Hamas did on October 7th, kill women, children, beheading babies, for Christ's sakes, and expect there not to be an outcry. The outcry is eradicate Hamas. It's not the anti-Semitism and hate the Jews that these Palestinian protesters, and I would suggest to you that there's a whole bunch of them in here on green cards. They need to be rounded up. Look, the FBI and everybody else knows who's responsible for paying these guys, the professional protesters. They know by facial recognition and everything else who these people are. Round them up, cancel their green cards, ship their ass out of the United States. They don't like it. It's time to go. Get a hold of your GOP lawmakers. Forget about the Democrats. They need to be flushed in 2024, along with Joe Biden and his administration. Look, he's not running the country. He's a mouthpiece. Besides that, he mumbles, he stumbles. Did you see him walking through the garden with Xi Jinping, the CCP guy? He bumped into him for, 50 yards of going down the sidewalk. The man can't finish a whole sentence without stumbling and bumbling. The other thing that you need to think about is Xi Jinping didn't see fit to go to the dinner in his honor, and for the life of me, I don't know why Newsom, unless he's working for the CCP, which wouldn't surprise me a bit, rolled out the red carpet. For every one American flag, there was 14 Chinese flags lining the streets of San Francisco after he cleaned up all the crap along the sidewalk and shuffled off the homeless people, to make a good impression. Well, he made a bad impression. It's still bad. So we need to figure out who was paying $2,000 a head up to $40,000 a head to attend the dinner in Xi Jinping's honor, where he got, a standing ovation. For what? Killing 100,000 people a year with fentanyl in the chemical makings to the cartel in Mexico? Yeah. Great standing ovation. Yeah, he really deserves that. So, anyway, it's time to get your GOP lawmakers. Look, they hold the power of the purse. They brag about it. What do? Not a damn thing. They turned a blind eye. Biden sent $6 billion to Iran for what? Okay, let's talk about building nukes, processing uranium to fire the nukes. They're the chief sponsor of terrorists in the world. Let's say we've got Hezbollah, ring a bell. We've got Hamas. We've got the Houthis in Yemen. Where's ISIS? Where's the Taliban? Do you think that $100 million of military apparatus that Biden and Milley and Lloyd Austin, who's another one, I'm going to talk about him in a second, left to the Taliban, you think that's not involved here? As of yesterday, American troops have been attacked 61 times, and it's going to continue. Lloyd Austin has seen fit to send the fighter aircraft to take out a couple of warehouses. What's wrong with that picture? 61 attacks on American Army bases, American troops. I don't know how many have been injured. Nobody's been killed yet. I emphasize yet. A lot of traumatic brain injury and other non-serious wounds, but it needs to stop. Oil fields in Iran need to become a target. We've got in the Straits of Hormuz and the Mediterranean, we've got two carrier attack groups. They got Iran at a pinch point. Pinch them. Take out the oil fields. Reinstate the sanctions. That needs to come from Congress, and it needs to come now. This, if you'll excuse my language, this bullshit needs to stop, and stop now. I'm Don McDowell with a pragmatic view of the obvious.